to Raid Radio, everyone's favorite show, most likely not. This week, we're going to be talking about everything from DK changes to Magor Orc racials, to Battle for Undercity, to the new dungeon, to allied races, and of course, some awesome retrospectives covering everything up to TOV. Without further ado, let's get right into it. I'm Dab. This is Ro. Say hi, Ro.
Hello, good morning, evening, and afternoon. We got a special episode for you today, don't we, Dab?
One of the specialists, I'd say. And Ro, let's just cut it right into it here. You're going to tell us about the DK changes. Now, Ro will never tell you this himself. Very humble guy, but Ro's a little bit of a DK expert.
I don't know about expert,
He knows DK.
Okay. Yes, DKs finally have some changes. It's about damn time. Don't you agree, Dad?
You know, we've been waiting for this for a while. He's been putting it off. But yeah, DK finally got some changes, Ro. Now, for the people at home, give us what's the biggest change in your eyes?
Well, I think we have two legendary effects, or not legendary. So we have one legendary effect right here, homeostasis, and then we have an artifact effect right here on the same tier for talent choices. So that's going to be a little rough to choose from, I think.
Yeah, and my guess is this is kind of their way of sort of pinning out which of them people actually don't need to see which ones that people pick.
Yeah, but right now, homeostasis, which is, I think, legendary shoulders.
And this is for blood?
Yeah, so each enemy hit by blood boil increases the damage and healing done by death strike. So, I mean, by 10%, that can stack up to 5 times, so that's 50% more. And then the consumption is from your artifact, which is basically like a 45-second cooldown right now, and it heals you, and then it also gives your party like 20% leech. So it's really good to use when shit's going crazy and the healer needs a little extra help.
What's the cooldown on that? 1 minute? What do you think is going to be the change? What do you think is going to be the choice everyone's going to pick?
I don't know. It's hard to say. I think definitely for survival.
Looks like to me. I don't know.
I think maybe for progression and survival, the Death Knight's going to want homeostasis, but maybe in the Mythic Plus thing, they're going to do consumption. It's hard to say.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Maybe
I think it all depends on the healer as well. Like if you
think homeostasis would be a prog ability, like for progression, you think?
I think definitely that's going to be used for progression for raid. I mean, because raid you don't really have to worry about healing because you have so many healers. At least in my eyes.
I mean, maybe if you're running like a lower healer comp, like trying to one heal or two heal something.
Yeah, okay, but I think
what else are
the Mythic
big blood changes here?
We have quite a few changes here. This one right here, it reduces 40% damage, and I think they were messing around with this a little bit, but looks like it's like almost the same as in live. But this one, this last tier right down here, Red Thirst and Purgatory. I don't know if you... Purgatory is like when a Death Knight dies, he has a shell that pops around him and can stay alive, so that's like a oh shit factor. But the Red Thirst reduces cooldown on one of your major abilities, so...
And is that a new change? Were they not on the same tier before?
Yeah, right. So right now, Red Thirst is on the fourth one, your fourth tier, and then Purgatory is on your bottom one. And pretty much strictly everybody's just taking Red Thirst and Purgatory.
So it's another case, I think, of Blizzard attempting to make the choice more meaningful. Now, what do you think is a choice that's going to be default? Is it going to be another situation where it depends on progression?
Yeah, I think it depends on the healer as well. I don't know. I think people might end up taking Red Thirst because when I tank, Purgatory procs. Sometimes it's not like it's a constant thing, so I think I'm just gonna take the Red Thirst over Purgatory.
Okay. And are there any other sort of big changes, maybe stuff that aren't just the talents, like baked-in changes that we should know about? Is anything getting removed?
Yeah, they've removed a few things here. So we got Blood Tap that's removed. Basically a thing that lets you get runes back. They got the spectral deflection removed, which I don't think is a really big deal. It's not that big of a talent. Heart of Ice is removed, which is okay, but I don't think many people use that one either. Let's see
And
here.
what would you say the overall effect of these things getting removed? Is it not much?
I think the biggest one. Well, I don't know. I don't think these are real big abilities people use at all. I think they've done an overall good job of taking stuff out that people aren't like relying on or something like that.
Yeah. Right now, blood decays are kind of the sort of like golden boy of Mythic Plus. Is that still going to be the case next expansion with the changes?
I think so because you're still gonna have your consumption for group healing, which is a big part of why Death Knight tanks are started out a lot. But I think this one right here is a real big change. The Blood Drinker and Rune Strike's getting replaced for Blood Drinker. So we have Blood Drinker right now, which I know some Death Knights use. So I'm not sure how that's going to affect their gameplay. I don't personally use it, but it just drains health from the target. And yeah, so you drain 2.2 million health from the target over 2.4 seconds, and you can still.
Okay, so it's just going to be like it's like a dot.
Yeah, you can still move around and do all that while channeling it. So.
Is that going to hurt threat then?
I don't think so, because I personally use a different ability. I don't have any problems holding threat.
Are there any other big changes to Blood Decay? What changes do you want to key in on, or is it like? So you're saying that it's looking like it's going to be good though, right? So if you're a Blood Decay, there's no need to get worried about your spot at the top of the Mythic Plus world.
Yeah. I don't know. I think this one, the tier 75 choices, that's going to be a tough one too, because Fell Bulwark, each charge of Bone Shield increases your maximum health by 1%, and then this other one here increases your charges by 5. So Bone Shield is basically your active mitigation. So the more Bone Shields you have up, the less damage you take. And right now you can spec into Full Bulwark and the Osirisi, or whatever, however you say it, right now together. So you can get those together.
And that's kind of something that's done. They talked about this during the Q&A, Ian Hazukosis, but this is one of their philosophies. They want to start moving similar things into the same tier. It's something we actually might see for a lot of classes. It's just a way to break up the traditional choices. But we're really going to be feeling the pain of that next expansion.
Yeah, so and it looks like so actually Full Bulwark is getting nerfed. It's 1%. Right now it's 2%.
So do you think it's going to be picked?
I don't know. It's hard to say. I think Osori is going to win out just because you're going to have more active mitigation and you have more runic power, which means more death strikes. So
how about the other DK specs? Are they getting a hit?
I don't think the other DK specs have gotten anything changed when I looked over it.
Yeah.
Right now it's just all blood DK right now.
So, well, I mean, I guess it's leave some. So we still have to wait to see about Frost and Unholy. But are there any other big blood DK things you want to talk about here?
I think their third tier right here is a good competition with each other.
Yeah, that seems to just be the like across the board for all these. It's like there's a lot of competition. It will be a while before we start to see like a hard set. These are your choices come out again, which for better or for worse.
Yeah, like this. I think people are probably going to end up taking Rune Tap because reduces all damage taken by 40, and you have 2 charges, which is really good to have. You know, an on-demand cooldown, 40%. That's pretty big.
Yeah, I mean, just how often you're going to be able to have that up.
Yeah, personally, I don't see people taking Will Necropolis or Anti-Magic Barrier, because I don't even think people take Anti-Magic Barrier right now.
Doesn't that is that the one where you drop a bubble, or is that something different?
In live,
I think that's
anti-magic shell also increases your maximum health by 25% for 10
um
seconds.
yeah, I don't know. I feel like that one would be again a very specific use case kind of thing where everyone's stacked up already.
Yeah, and they've obviously changed this one. Reduce the cooldown to anti-magic shell by 15, and increase the duration and
Yeah.
the amount by
Th-
30. Which is kind
There's
of
actually
another legendary overall for decay, but so.
Yeah, there's kind of another thing that's going to be affecting DK, and actually all class for that matter. We've talked about this previously on the show, but they're going to be adding some more stuff to the GCD um, as a way of sort of slowing some people down. And they actually have a few DK things that are added to the GCD. Do you want to tell people about those? They have Death Grip, Dancing Rune Weapon, Corpse Shield, and Tombstone. How will those really affect your playstyle?
Um, uh, I don't know. I don't think Tombstone's going to be something used a lot, so eh. Corpse Shield's an unholy thing, which
Mm-hmm. Which don't
I
you
guess
mainly
that
play
I
Unholy or
Corpse
do you play
Shield.
Frost?
I play Frost.
Mhm.
Corpse Shield might be good to use for PvP, but I think right now most PvPers are sticking with Frost DK. And Death Grip, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about the Death Grip for GCD.
Yeah, I feel like the point of Death Grip, especially in PvP, is like to quickly pull someone in and sort of affect it. And I think all these GCD things, I mean, the boss doesn't care how often you get abilities up. I think that they're all mostly a PvP reaction that have sort of snuck their way into PvE. Because
Yeah.
I feel like the Death Grip change that's specifically so that in PvE you can't see the Death Grip then chain stuns. Like it gives people a second.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's
I
hard to
think this.
say
I
without
don't know.
actually getting into alpha or, whatever to
Feel it out. Yeah.
try it out.
Yeah.
But
I
they
think
keep on adding more and more shit to the
I
GCD.
ex-
It's like,
I expect everything being added to the GCD, and here's the problem with that in my eyes. When we have so much added to the GCD, we're going to be seeing way more classes stacking haste to reduce the GCD, because so many classes they have stuff that's off the GCD that they use all the time.
yeah,
As,
so are they inadvertently going to make everybody fucking stack haste then?
yeah, it's really stupid. I mean, like stuff like Druid's Dash, um, like a bunch of stuff. Like, why is it even in the GCD now? Like movement abilities. What's the stuff that you're not going to be using all the time? But I'm a little bit hesitant about that.
I've heard people saying that they say that Blizzard's doing this because they want people to think more about their rotation or something like that, which doesn't really make sense to me.
Yeah, I think it's supposed. It's I guess trying to slow things down. I think it's mostly a PvP change.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say what how it's gonna really affect your gameplay.
I mean, it's going to slow everything down, especially if you're something like a warrior who are getting their charge add to the GCD. Now, here's something of note here. It's not all going to be the same GCD we're talking about. Look, it's looking like we're going to have two different types of GCDs. We're going to have a 0.5 second one and a 1.5 second one. So something like a Death Grip is going to be on a 0.5, which means it's not going to be as long, but it's still a considerable amount of time.
Yeah, but I mean, at the same time, Death Grip only is a 30-second cooldown, so
Yeah.
I don't know. The only thing that worries me about it is tanking wise. Like, are they gonna
Yeah.
add all the abilities to GCD and then tanks are just gonna get trunked because they can't get
I
their
mean,
shit up right away?
like, let's say you need a Death Grip of Mob Q, then instantly pop your mitigation. You just won't be able to do it.
Yeah. Or
Yeah.
the marrow strike to get your active mitigation up.
Yeah, I don't understand putting things on the GCD that have a cooldown. I feel like if it has a cooldown, it doesn't need to be on the GCD. With some exceptions, of course.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it is still alpha, right?
Yeah, but it's not looking likely to change, honestly.
Yeah. I don't know. Like Light of the Protector for Paladin, prop Paladin. So that's pretty cool that they had that.
It's gonna slow everything down. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see, I guess. We'll see what happens with the gameplay, Dab. Hopefully it's good, like they say it will be.
Yeah. And if you're the type of person who relies on a legendary as a way of making your class go faster, be more enjoyable, well, have fun not having that after level 116. They've confirmed that after level 116, your legendary effects will be disabled. We knew it was going to happen, but sadly, we didn't really know it was going to be that soon. So you're not going to be able to use them all the way up to max level, but you're going to be able to use them up to 116. And I think by that time, you'll probably be replacing them anyway.
Yeah. I don't know. I thought I was just gonna use my legendaries up to 120, and change them out.
Yeah, it does feel a little bit bad. I remember in previous expansions, if I'm thinking about like using, I don't know, maybe the ring from last expansion or whatever, I was using that basically up to max level this expansion. Almost. Or the cloak.
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
I,
granted,
I replaced them, but it took a while. It took a long while.
yeah. I mean, I figured I'd just use them up to like 120, and obviously it's gonna make you level faster when you have a DPS legendary or something like that, So it's like, what's the point? Why don't you just make it to where it caps out at 119, not
I think it's just a way for us to get acquainted with not having them, I think.
Yeah, fucking legendaries.
So they'll just turn into stat sticks. You'll still be able to have them equipped, but the bonus will go away.
Yeah,
And
but
with tier
I mean, at
sets.
that point, it's like, I'm sure there's gonna be better gear for you, maybe, hopefully.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks like Almond
Yeah.
Thools is not effective
Yeah,
right
that could
now.
just be. That's most likely just going to be a alpha thing, I'd assume. Like they haven't worked it in yet. Or maybe not, but probably. Do you have almond tools by any chance?
Hell no, I got Almond Thools. Do you?
No, I don't. Have you seen anyone get it?
I've never seen anybody get it in a group, but I know like one person that has it.
Yeah, I
But
think I saw somebody do it once.
it's like, why is this thing so hard to get when it's not even gonna
Low
be that
drop time?
great? Yeah, come
Yeah.
BFA. It's like you put this
You can say
awesome
that about
trinket in
any item,
game
though.
and nobody's gonna be able to get it. So it's like,
Yeah, well, because it has about a legendary drop chance, right? Except only off the one boss.
all right, and it's only for normal and above, right?
Yeah, normal, but that means you can't do it on Alpha.
Yeah, which I'm like, you might as well make it like higher. I mean, I'm not saying that you want them raining from the sky, but don't make them as rare as they are right now.
Yeah, I think it should be enough where like I calculated it recently. I've been doing Antorix basically a full clear every week for 20 weeks. So I've done Argus more than 20 times if you include all difficulties, and I've never seen it drop. Like
Right.
you think it should, I guess maybe but 1 in 20, but it's with a 20-person raid. So 20 times like 400, like 1 in 400. I feel like it should have dropped by now.
Yeah, I mean, even the weapons, drop off Argus and Agarmar, those are pretty low, aren't they?
Yeah, but I've
Yeah.
gotten one of those, and I know
Uh,
people who get
yeah, I've gotten
Argus.
2 of those, but I mean, yeah, I've pretty much been doing Argus since the launch of the raid.
Yeah,
So
no, I totally agree with you.
it's like, yeah, why don't you just make it like maybe a little bit less than that? Because it's still a pretty low drop rate. And I know people that haven't even gotten it, and they've been doing it just as much as I am.
Yeah, and I know, and the worst part is that I know it's BIS for a lot of people, and they feel like they need it. And that's part of the problem that the legendary system sort of bred into us. We feel like we need these legendaries, even though that they're so rare that it's like unattainable to get them. We feel like we need them to be adequate.
Yeah, but I do know there's some classes out there that if you have your trinket that dropped off Argus and it's eye level 1000, it's better. It's actually better than Almonthals.
Yeah, no, that's true for me actually as a priest. I have Velens and the Argus, the Agrimar, the Argus trinket upgraded to 1,000, and it is better than Amanthul's.
Yeah, for the Frost decay, at least last time I checked, they were saying that it's better than Almonthals. But for my Affliction Warlock, there's no other better trinket than elementals. So,
Yeah, I thought the trinkets were actually a good idea. The whole system of upgrading them over the course of a few weeks.
yeah, I like that. That was really good. Hopefully, they'll have some similar stuff in the raid
Yeah.
next expansion. It'd be nice to have like a tier that has something like that.
Yeah,
You know,
no, I
an
mean, I
upgradable
agree.
item.
I think the upgradable item system is actually really smart. That's something that I want to say they introduced it last expansion with the Legendary Ring, but I might be confused. They might have introduced it before that. But with the last expansion, if you killed Archimond, you got a little upgrade thing for your Legendary Ring. I think it's fun though. Makes you feel like you're not wasting your time doing alt runs or whatever.
Yeah, and even right now, I still have a reason to go back and kill Argus because I have the tanking trinket that I still need to cap out, which is at like 950 or something like that right now.
Certainly. Now, speaking about like, I'm trying to think of a good segue here. This is hard. Undercity is going to get destroyed. Was that a natural segue, Ro? Can you give me a thumbs up on that one?
I think that was just kind of like you're just putting everything out there.
Spoilers.
Oh yeah, spoilers, right?
We're legally obligated to tell you that this is
There you
spoiler
go.
talk, spoiler zone. According to Ro, he called his lawyer buddy. He was like, "They'll sue you for $1 billion," and we're like, "We don't have $1 billion. Whatever." Spoiler alert. We're going to be talking a little bit about the scenario for they're calling it like the battle for Lord or on the battle for Undercity, whatever you want to call it. And this is the one that was actually in the trailer, right?
Was it?
Yeah. So it's basically what we're sort of to summarize what we're seeing here is like as we're killing the Alliance, we're not just killing them, we're raising them and bringing them back. But the way that we're doing it, we're using like the blight. Like you remember the battle for the Wrathgates, right? Where it was like Plague Master or whatever. Who cares?
Yeah.
Drops all the
Lich King.
blight on these people. We're using that blight, and it kills their own people.
So let me just get this straight here. So Sylvanas, right?
Yeah.
She is using this blight to kill people and bring them back to life to fight for the Horde.
But it's also killing Horde members. But she doesn't care, and she's soldiering on.
I mean, just this confirms that she's gonna be a boss. She's gonna be Lich King 2.0.
I'm not gonna lie. This is pretty extreme. Because she was really angry about the Plague Master using Blight, and she was pretty against the whole Blight thing in general. But it seems war has corrupted her mind, where it doesn't matter to her.
Yeah, Lich King 2.0. I'm telling you, Dab, that's gonna be a thing.
Yeah.
I don't know what the Horde's gonna do. They're gonna have to find another leader after this expansion or something.
So basically, the Alliance is getting trucked, but they're the only thing that sort of saves them is Jania comes in. They're joined with Illyria Windrunner, a bunch of Void Elves like Ro, and High Tinker Mechatork, who sort of saved the day, and they force Sylvanas to retreat. And then you all chase them in gyrocopters.
Hell yeah, man, that's awesome.
Basically, what we learned is that gnomes win.
I mean, they always win, don't they?
Usually. Also, you have to fight Sourfang before you take him prisoner, which sort of shows that he's less of a willing prisoner than we may have thought in previous sort of times. Because we've heard about this for a while, but this is, I guess, slightly more specific stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Somebody in chat pointed out, like every expansion, the Horde needs a new warlord.
Yeah,
very true.
I mean, at this point, they're starting to run out of people.
Right? Like,
is Thrall gonna come back?
Next?
Like, I don't know.
Honestly, if I'm being honest, I want Bloodhoof. I'm trying to remember the name. Is it Brain? Not Brain. Bronze? No.
No.
I know Karen Bloodhoof, but I forget what his son's name is. Anyway, I think his son should be the new war chief because either him or Sourfang, because both of them have seen how destructive this path has been for both Garrosh and Sourfang, so they know. and I don't know, they're a little bit of a different thing.
Yeah, I think it is Bane. Is that what
Bane.
it is? Bane Bloodhoof?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see him probably. Unless, he gets ganked like Vol'jin. So,
Vol'jin's urns are confirmed to be in BFA. We actually learned that a little bit of time ago. I don't have the picture for it, but yeah, maybe we bring Vol'jin back.
bring him back? What?
Bring
You're
him
just
boy
gonna
home.
res his, get him res or something like
pop
that?
master as don't release.
Yeah, don't release Vol'jin, we got you.
Anyway, we also learned a lot more about Azerite power. And what we've sort of learned about it is we learned it's going to be basically on all pieces. So the example we have here are gray items. So it's like even gray items are going to have Azerite traits, which is nice, I guess.
Yeah, I'm still just not excited about like the lack of choices. I don't know.
Yeah, well, obviously we don't know until we see the raid level items. But we're just seeing more and more things. I think it's kind of cool that everything's going to be getting Azerite powers, including like really shitty gear. So I guess that kind of shows like the way the system's going to be all encompassing. However, it kind of makes me worried that we're going to be seeing a lot of sameness.
Like the traits themselves?
Yeah, I mean, if everything's going to be getting it, if every gray item, we're going to be seeing like they can't make that many different items.
Yeah, but I think from
power.
what I understand, it's so Mythic Plus has their own set of traits, and then like raids have their own set of traits, right?
Something like that.
And then I'd assume that PvP gear has their own set of traits as well. So,
We'll
I mean,
see.
I guess it's not that big of a deal, but I'd still like to see more options available instead of what we have here, the 4, 2, and 1.
Yeah, and still at this point, the middle traits have all seem to be this sort of upgrade your item level by 5 thing that we've been seeing before. The little Azerite chunk.
Yeah, the one there at the bottom.
We'll talk about this later in the show, but I'm pretty afraid of the Azerite system, in all honesty.
Afraid of it?
Yeah, I'm thinking it can really be a bad thing for the next expansion.
Like, how do you think it's gonna be bad?
Let's talk about that later in the show. Make sure to stay tuned for that.
Okay.
Anyway, talking about sort of like cliffhangers and a little bit of mind blowing, we got some broadcast text that informs us that Jaina has a brother, and this is like brand new information.
Yeah. Tranded Proudmoore. What the fuck?
What kind of name is that? Let's be honest here.
I mean, I had no idea. I would have never guessed that Jaina has a brother. Has she ever even talked about a brother or anything like that in lore or something?
I've having read the chronicles, having scrimmed and scrounged through all the lore I can find on WoW, had never heard it mentioned before. I think that's really the biggest sort of bombshell we've gotten so far. And obviously, it's probably just going to be something that we're going to see sort of strengthen the questing stuff in Borealis, make it more interesting. But I think I'm kind of confusing, a little bit crazy.
Yeah, I think Jaina is just like, she needs to get her shit together. Like, yeah. She needs to get back with her family or something. Like, what the hell? Yeah, she has a lot of family issues, I guess.
Yeah, and we have sort of that sort of like crazy revelation. And we have these sort of new characters joining the Alliance. We have some old characters rejoining the Horde. We have Lillian Voss, who's going to take a huge role in the Ready for War campaign. Good to see her again. If you don't know, she's the one. She's in like, pretty sure she's in Skullomance, right?
Yeah, she does Skullomance where she gets like mind controlled or something, and you have to fight her.
Yeah. So it's good to see her rejoin the storyline.
Yeah, she was in SM too, wasn't she?
Yeah, and this is obviously sort of a thing with Sylvanas. Now, something I'm thinking of, and I haven't heard this talked about anywhere, is could it possibly be that she's joining the storyline that if we do end up taking Sylvanas out, maybe she'll be the new Forsaken representative?
So
'Cause
possibly.
she's one of the few other Forsaken lore characters that we have like deeply ingrained within the lore, I'd say. And it feels kind of random that just bringing her back.
Yeah. And I think she's
Yeah,
like she's more of like a good character too, isn't she?
yeah,
That's like
she
the
is.
vibe.
Somebody brought up in chat. She took down the Scarlet Crusade. So like we fought her, but that was because she was corrupted, right? And we like purged her of corruption. So I'm actually really hopeful that we're going to be seeing her become a new sort of key character for the Horde, because it will show maybe a better side of the Forsaken and the future new Horde that we might have.
Yeah, but I mean, honestly, it still doesn't solve the problem that the Forsaken have had for a long time. It's how to reproduce. So I guess
Yeah.
as long as Azeroth is in war, they're okay.
Well, I mean, here's the thing: the Forsaken they don't die of like old age, so they don't need to be fucking all the time, right?
Well, Forsaken die in battle though, right?
Oh, sure. But what I'm saying is that, like, as long as there isn't a mass death, they don't really have a huge population problem. I feel like they can naturally sustain themselves.
Yeah, but I don't know.
Plus, I don't know. I don't think Lillian would be okay with raising new Forsaken. I mean, she was. If you don't remember, when we met her in Cataclysm, she hated being Forsaken. If
Yeah,
memory serves. Like, I think she would be very much like, she's not going to kill her own people, but we're not going to look to raise more Forsaken, and that would create a good contrast to the whole blighty Sylvanas nature of raising the whole army, right?
yeah.
I'm just saying, keep an eye on Lillian Voss. She might just be, a small character that we haven't heard from a lot, but you're going to be hearing a lot more of her. I'm calling it. I've heard nobody talk about this, but I'm calling it here. Don't you agree, Ro?
Uh, maybe she's gonna be like a character, and you do some scenarios and stuff like that for now. But then, if our speculation is right, Dab, and Sylvanas turns into Lich King 2.0, maybe she'll help overthrow Sylvanas.
Mm-hmm.
So I could see it doing something like that, maybe.
Yeah. Now, we actually a couple, was last week actually. We are talking about Voldun. We are talking about how there must be a Voldun dungeon, and we have something kind of like that. It's Tol Dagor. It's a new BFA dungeon. We got some screenshots. Now, I think it's going to be in Kul Tirian, Kulturas, sorry, because the sort of outside is this sort of classic, dank mire, whatever.
Yeah, like marsh kind of
But
thing.
something of note is that we have something from Voldun as one of the bosses. We have a Sand Queen. Now this whole thing is like a prison, right? And like we're going into the depths of this prison, but the Sand Queen apparently is living in the sands around this prison. So maybe, maybe that's going to lose somewhere else. We also have a Worgen, which
Wasn't
is
this the Sand Queen here? Wasn't that a mount model?
it was we were theorizing it was going to be a mount model, yeah. It was one of those except with the saddle on it. It was like coal something.
Maybe we'll get a mount off this boss, hopefully.
Could be a great way for it to drop. You see, it already has all the animations. We also have Jess Howless, who's a Worgen. I think it's interesting to see a Worgen in Kultiris, because uh, how would it get there? And that's kind of a big question, I guess. It might be possible this Worgen isn't from Gilneas, and instead is actually like a proper Worgen. I don't know if you know Worgen lore.
Yeah, like the actual Feral Druid.
Yeah.
Or, well, the crazy Feral Druid, I guess you could say.
Then we have a Captain Valor here, who surprisingly isn't the final boss.
Is this like the Warden? Maybe?
No, she is in charge of the Ashvane Armory.
Oh, she doesn't look very guardish to me.
Yeah, the final boss is actually the Warden, which is weird that we're going to be fighting the Warden. I guess it kind of cuts into the storyline here. Like, we're fighting everything from prisoners to wardens.
Hmm.
And the last boss
So,
is called Overseer Krogus, and he is a very cool model in my opinion.
If it will load. Alright, there it goes.
So what are your
Yeah.
thoughts on this dungeon so far? I'm really liking the aesthetic of it. Honestly, if you remember the screenshots, like those are really cool to me.
Yeah, I think they've just been doing a really good job for like the Kul Tirian art style.
Clothes. Yeah, no, they have it locked down. Whoever their art guy is who does the Kul Tirian stuff, oh my god.
Yeah, that guy needs a raise.
Yeah, right. Something else of note, we're gonna be getting. They've been trying to sort of figure out ways to make dungeons more varied, kind of like Court of Stars or what have you. So something they're doing here is they have factional NPC hostages. So you'll find keys around the prison. I assume you'll find them on people. That's a little bit up. And what you're gonna be able to do is unlock these hostages, and they're gonna be able to give you sort of various buffs as well as helping you out.
Yeah, I always like that when I'm doing Court of Stars and I get like I play a gnome, so if I get the engineering thing, I can do it without being an engineer since I'm a gnome. So that's always good.
No, I think those
Shit
are
like
awesome.
That.
And I think there's something they're trying to do on more on dungeons too. Like for Freehold, for example, you're going to get to pick a pirate crew to go with, and then that pirate crew will be friendly to you and help you out. I love those sort of stuff. It does kind of make Mythic Plus a little bit weird because it adds a whole nother element to it, but I think that's irrelevant. It's also interesting.
But it looks like so you have to get this key right here for the
Yeah.
hostages.
I think that might just be an example. I assume there's going to be keys scattered throughout the whole area. I'm assuming also on like bosses or NPCs.
Hopefully they'll make it pretty noticeable because when you're running through a Mythic Plus, you know you got to make time. So hopefully.
And I'm figuring they're going to be randomized too, so it's going to be interesting to see how that's going to affect Mythic Plus.
Yeah, this is kind of cool too. I like this where you can sit down and play Hearthstone.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll go for well during Mythic Plus. God, I wish.
You know,
do you have the picture? Do you have the picture of us playing Hearthstone, Ro?
I don't think I do.
I'll pull it up. Anyway, but what's your thoughts on this dungeon though?
I think it looks pretty cool. I always like prison type of dungeons too.
You a big Orange is the New Black fan?
Oh yeah, you know it, man. Like, yeah. I'm a fan of the Warden's instance. Not my favorite, but I just kind of like how it is overall. Going into a place that's gone into pure chaos, and you're like, all right, guys, it's time to straighten this place up.
What do people in chat think about this dungeon? Honestly, like, the aesthetic is spot on that they have for Kul Tirian. I think that they really they're killing it. Like rooms like that. I don't know. There's some. It really reminds me of Borealis. Like they have the art style down, and I love it.
You know, this place kind of reminds me of his. I think it was Cataclysm or the PvP zone.
I know the one you're talking about. Yeah.
Where you go down and you fight the raid bosses and stuff.
Hmm. Yeah, no, I know exactly which one you're talking about. Yeah, no, definitely. By the way, I got the picture here. Ro, would you like to introduce the next topic here while I send you the picture? Ro loves doing these transitions here. Let me do it for you. What would you see in a Kul Tirian swamp? Hippos? Probably. We have a new hippo mount. There you go, Ro. Just say that.
Yeah, you're just so talented at it, Deb.
Jesus, real charm we got here. We got some new Rexar mounts, some butterflies. Aren't they pretty?
I got a mummy pet? Oh my god.
I can see some weird stuff going on with that.
Yeah, I hope that's a Halloween thing.
Oh, yeah. I didn't even think about that. A new Hallows End thing.
Yeah, I mean, I think Hallows End is my favorite event, so if anything they add to it, it's good by me. But
yeah, I totally agree.
We got Pat, Alliance Hippo here.
That's Vicious War Hippo. Given that we already have the Cleft Hoof, it's almost certainly going to be the Alliance version.
Now this thing is fucking awesome. I cannot wait to be riding around this thing on my gnome.
Yeah, I want the Hippo too. It's honestly makes me want to switch back to lines.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well come back. Come back to us, Dab. Oh, look at that. Look at his jump animation. It looks like he's swimming.
Very good. We also have a new Rexar model, which is Rexar is going to be a follower, not follow, like whatever, a follower for the Horde mission table. And we were talking about how his model looks outdated. I think not anymore. I think you can stand up with any other Horde leader or chief. Some
Yeah,
new
it looks,
butterflies too.
He definitely has a good update here. So load up. There we go. Yeah, I think that's makes him look pretty good.
I sent you the Hearthstone pictures, by the way. I want to show the people at home us playing Hearthstone.
All right, hold on. There it is. Look at that. I'm pretty sure I'm winning.
Probably not.
I'm pretty sure I win.
I have a fair amount of doubt. Look at how many coins I have on the board.
Coins?
Blizzard has a weird way of playing Hearthstone. Speaking about winning, I think the Kul Tirians are winning because their Druid cat form looks really cool.
Is that this one? Is that it right there?
Is that one?
Oh, okay,
No.
right here. Yeah.
Yes, it's its own thing. So we theorized a while that it was going to be the Wicker Beast, right? But no, it's actually a wholly different thing.
I think I got a new contender for a new main here.
Right? There's something about it that's wicked cool.
I think, yeah, this thing looks pretty badass. Granted, I don't like their bear form that much, but this thing looks awesome.
And don't play bear for himself.
Shit.
Yeah, I'm happy they went with this instead of just sticking with a Wicker Beast like we thought, because this is by far way more interesting.
What do you think? This one versus the Zandalari one?
This one by far.
Yeah.
Because this one's giving me vibes of like Saber-Tooth Tiger. It almost feels like it should have been an artifact appearance for Feral Druid, honestly. Like,
yeah.
I'm not even kidding. This might be the best Feral Druid form there is.
It almost looks like a wolf, doesn't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's really serious wolf vibes.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, definitely.
But I definitely like this one.
The only thing that'd be better. The only thing would be better is if it was a hippo.
Oh man, it should be a hippo bear form. That would be sick.
Oh my god. Call Blizzard.
The Wicker Hippo.
Blues phone here. Hello, Blizzard. Can we get a Wicker Hippo?
Yeah.
Didn't answer.
So do they have the Boomcam form out for these guys yet, or?
No, they haven't yet. I'm looking forward to it though. It seems like they're gonna redesign them from things that they already had. So.
Yeah, hopefully it's like those wicker, like those big old wicker dudes, you know, like the tall ones. You know what I'm talking about?
I totally agree. But I honestly just watch Raid Radio next week. I'm sure they'll have them out by then.
Yeah. Or, you know, subscribe to our Twitter or follow or whatever.
Yeah.
Twitter does.
If they drop the thing, we'll definitely tweet it out. Anyway, self-promotion out of the way there. We, speaking about allied races, we have some Vulperian male voices. I'm sure Vulperian are going to be a race now.
No.
Okay, play the voices.
My arms might be tired, but my legs are ready to run right out of here. Is this a trick?
They have a weird British thing going on.
Free to go.
Yeah,
No deal to be made? You are different
I
than
think
most.
Vulperian are going to
I will
require
repay the
top
step.
hats.
You have my word. Thanks.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have lasted much longer. The things I've seen. I'm going to make sure the Sethrak don't even have their own loot when they leave here. Don't die out there. Take care of
Jesus.
yourself. No one else will. The dunes have everything we need. Remember, everything has its use. Surviving means being resourceful. Be quick. Be clever.
So we have
Got
those, of
anything
course.
for
We
me?
also have
Hi
some
there.
Magor
Have you come?
jokes. We actually have the voicing for them. However, we've already read them, so I'm not going to belabor the point that I can assure you that they are hilarious.
So I'm probably 100% sure it sounds exactly like you, right?
Yeah, okay. Just play the orc male one just to confirm.
You must be a frost wolf, because you've made tracks to my heart. I'm a sensitive guy. Please don't break my
So the first one, let me do.
my
You must be a frost wolf, cause you made tracks to my heart.
Yeah, you know,
Perfect.
I thought you were actually doing that. Did Wowhead hire you, or Blizzard hire
Yeah.
you, or something like that?
Yeah, I'm doing the Magar Orc voice lines.
Let's check out the female.
Before we go any further, I need to know, how high is your pain threshold?
Yeah, I think that's just like you, Deb. I mean, you nailed it the first
You're
time.
very saucy, and we'll talk about sauce a little bit later in the show, I promise. In fact, I can guarantee it.
So, do you generally think that Vulperian is going to be an allied race because of the voices?
Not because of the voices, because it'd be crazy if they didn't do it. Because I know so many people who'd pay money to transfer their characters cross faction, cross land and sea to be Vulperian.
I don't know. I really hope they don't do it.
I don't know. We've learned, talking about Magar Orcs, we've actually learned about their racials. We have names for them as well as a little bit of information here. We also got an updated world map, but that's neither here nor there. But the racials we have Ancestral Call, which we're still not sure what that is yet, but we'll speculate on that in a little bit. We also have Open Skies, which increases mounted speed by money s 2%. I'm gonna guess 5%. That probably seems like the max.
Huh.
We're also
Well-
going to be seeing Pure Blood, which reduces the duration of poison, disease, and curses by 1%. I'm assuming it's going to be more than that, maybe 10%. And we have Sympathetic Vigor, which increases your pet's health by 1%. It's interesting that we're seeing the Hunter one.
Yeah, I think they're going to be top contenders for like Warrior and Hunter classes.
Certainly. Although tanks maybe because of the poison and disease and curse, but none of them are actually really shouting out as huge damage buffs. Ancestral Call must be very powerful.
Yeah, I think probably Ancestral Call is going to be like some sort of damage buff like the orcs have in game right now. Was it a Berserking or something like that?
It could be maybe a minor heal effect.
I don't know. I think more of like damage is more.
Maybe you have like maybe the Storm, Earth, and Fire thing where you have little like ghosty versions of you for a monk. Maybe it's gonna be something like that, except with a greatly reduced damage increase. But like you gain spirits to increase your damage by 5% for 20 seconds or whatever.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not really like these aren't really impressive racials, are they? Like reduces duration, poison, disease, and curses by 1%. Like
I mean, the mount one's nice, but it's very. I mean, if somebody's picking unless they can be druids, no one's gonna pick it because the only reason that people would want to increase mount speed would be for farming, but then you're just gonna play a druid or something.
Yeah, but it's like, that's how I feel about it. Like the Dark Iron Doors racials, aren't they like way better than this?
By far, they're gonna be the default tank class for a lot of people. The default class in general. Dark Iron Dwarves are looking to be the best allied race.
Yeah, I think even the
just from like a rating perspective.
Yeah, I mean even the Void Elf have a racial that increases their damage by 5%. So
yeah, we also got some
increase your pet health by 1%. Like what?
We have some of the PvP icons that you get for doing, I assume, for prestiging, what have you. Some of them are kind of weird colors that surprise me, but that's probably like they probably put layers of like filters on them before they put them in game. We've got some Warfront screenshots and some new icons. I'm almost sure now we're gonna be having a chicken pet and a crab pet if you look at the new icons, as well as some sort of a raptor pet.
Oh,
and made
wow. These icons look really detailed, too.
yeah. Keep in mind if you go to the icons, there's one for I don't know if you know the creature. It's like a big, like Komodo dragon almost. We've been seeing the model for a while. Maybe that means it's going to be a pet too, or like a mount, which is a good sign, a really good sign actually, as well as
Oh,
some sort of a spider mount or pet.
and
then we
here we
have
got the best thing in BFA is
Shoot.
our new mummy pet that we're gonna get from Halloween. I'm speculating.
I'm pretty sure will be from Halloween. Then actually, I'm lying. Maybe it'll be from like like a Tomb Raider esque, Mummy esque, Voldun like tomb raiding raid where we like or not raid, a dungeon where we go into like the depths of some sort of an ancient pharaoh's tomb. It could be a boss drop from like a mummy boss.
I don't know. I'd rather see it with Halloween.
I do too. I always like when they add holiday things.
Yeah, they got some interesting stuff to speculate off here, and yeah, they got the new PvP icons too.
Certainly.
They-
I'm thinking a lot of those are probably going to be mounts. It's looking like we're going to have a lot of new mounts in BFA. It's looking like I think every dungeon is going to get a mount, from what I can tell.
Really? I don't think so, man. That's
What
a lot.
What dungeons do we have that don't have mounts so far? Freehold does a mount.
Yeah, Freehold does have a
We
mount.
speculated the prison has a mount. I know some of the other ones we've heard of have had mounts. I don't know. I know
Well, how
the
many mounts in Legion are there for
Not
the
that many.
dungeons?
There's
Isn't there
already more. There's already more in BFA. There was only 2 in Legion.
from a 5-man?
Yeah.
We got the Karazhan. Well,
Yeah,
Kara
we
drops
got
2
two.
if you do the timer thing.
And that's it.
Yeah, that's it, isn't it?
Yeah, so we already have more confirmed.
Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully they don't make it to where like every fucking dungeon drops a mount. Because I mean that's just gonna get tiring farming this shit all the time.
And don't farm it.
Hey man, listen. I want my mounts, but don't go overboard with it, Blizzard.
God. You really will complain about anything, won't you?
That's our job here, is to complain about shit. Damn.
Anyway, we also had some, speaking about, I guess, raid drops. That's a good transition. We have some older raid testing that's went on. We learned previously about Zakvor, the Herald of Nazoth, Nazoth being the old god. We've got some more screenshots from it.
Here we go. I mean, if this does not scream old gods, I don't know what does, Zap.
Well, yeah. Also, on note, what sort of creature there is Nazoth? Is it just me, or is he almost like one of the sort of encourage? Not encourage. What kind of encourage actually?
This guy right here?
Yeah.
I think he's some sort of like faceless one, isn't he?
A little bit.
Looks
I don't know.
pretty cool though.
Bugs seem to have a very deep tie with the old gods, if you ever noticed that. So I'm wondering if in Old God Disco we're going to see a bug raid, other than just the one under Northrend. That's it.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, we might
I really love this sort of Titan architecture, though. The huge wheels.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if they just wanted to do like old gods for the rest of WoW history, I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, honestly.
So, are we going to be able to see these? Like, are they going to be able to stream it?
The testing, I think they've already done it. There is some footage. Not much.
Oh, hopefully I can find a video and look at it. But I'm assuming they only have like 1 or 2 bosses up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. This was this Friday.
Okay.
So, question, bro. You're in this raid. Someone throws a sword at you. What do? You got 5 seconds to answer.
Throws a sword at me?
You have 5 seconds, 2 seconds.
I dodge it?
Hey,
right?
You're supposed to say block. Let's try this again. Somebody throws a sword at you. What do you do?
I grab it out of the sky and I slash them to pieces.
Bro, You say block, okay? Somebody throws a sword at you, what do you do?
I guess I'll just block it. That's real
Boom.
boring.
They've done some block changes. This is a blue post. And the basic quick and dirty of this is block is going to become a much more important feature, I guess. And it's actually going to be a stat you're going to be able to see on your character sheet, like your block chance. And it's going to be something that will be on pieces like shields and a few other things, but it's going to be something that you're actually thinking about stacking. It's the ability that they bring up here, Shield of the Righteous, may or may not gain a block modifier instead of just a armor modifier. So the basic result of this is that we're going to see tanks stacking block again. I don't know. This was kind of something that happened a lot in BC, right?
Yeah. So BC Wrath, I think, was the thing. Like you had to hit your defensive cap, so you just wouldn't get like one shot by bosses and stuff like that. And I think there was some sort of like blocking you were supposed to get as well. But I think that's kind of cool if they're gonna put it on items.
Yeah, I'm happy. I think it's a really cool effect. Something that they talked about is they're gonna have it be something of like a diminishing return, so you don't turn into a situation where you're trying to stack to 100% again. Because that's the shitty time. But I definitely see this becoming one of the most important tanking stats, which is nice. Because it's very rare that we see gear that's like tanking gear anymore, I guess, other than trinkets. And even then, I know a lot of tanks who just use DPS trinkets.
Yeah, hopefully they put it with like shield or tanks that don't have shields too. That's like a decay or bear or something like that.
Like on like swords or stabs.
Yeah, because it's gonna be kind of shitty if they add this. And then all of a sudden, warriors and paladins are like the best tanks.
I figured that they'd have it on something for DK.
Yeah, like Death Knights and Bears don't block, which would be stupid.
Yeah, I'm wondering if there's going to be somewhere where we might see, for Mythic Plus, maybe some like non-tanks will be wearing block gear for like weird strat.
Maybe. I don't know. Well, we don't even know how it's gonna be. Like, if it's gonna be a regular stat, or maybe it's gonna be something like how leech and like speed and stuff like that is right now.
Yeah, definitely. And the Warriors are also losing Ignore Pain, which is a sort of damage percentage thing. So this is gonna be another thing where this is gonna help Warriors sort of stay relevant, I guess. Because I think still people with shield are gonna have the highest block by far.
Yeah.
Anyway, we had sort of talked a little bit about Vulperian and whether or not we thought they were going to be an allied race, but I think some of the biggest clues were in Voldun, which we actually got a full questing breakdown of here because it was recently opened up for testing. So the basic storyline here for questing is the Vulperian are enslaved, and us as Horde are trying to find them as allies, so we help them out. The people who are enslaving them are snake people. They're not called snake people. They're called Shekarak or something of that nature. And basically, the Shekarak are trying to like resurrect one of their Loa. And this Loa, Mithrax, is actually corrupted by old gods. In fact, the whole Voldun as a whole has been sort of destroyed and wrecked by old gods. It's basically one of the big old god influence places, similar to Silithith, I guess. But the Horde has to sort of help the Vulperian break from under the Shekarak's sort of oppressive thumb, and in the process they find some Shekarak who aren't that bad. But the reason why people are saying, and why I think I agree with this, that Alliance might be getting these Shekarak as an allied race is because I'm assuming when the Alliance make it into this area, they're going to help the Shekarak because the Vulperian are with the Horde, right?
I don't know. Are they?
Yeah, the Vulperian are with the Horde. That's something that we sort of can, like, the Horde is helping them basically. That's something that we learned here in Voldun. Something, I guess, if you're wondering, well, would the Alliance help somebody who's helping old gods? Well, the Alliance are confirmed to help blood trolls, so the Shekarak are slightly less aggressive.
I don't know
than blood
about
trolls.
Helping, or more
Yes.
willingly giving them sacrifice people.
Helping.
I don't know. Hopefully they don't go overboard with this allied race thing, like adding weird looking dudes and shit like that.
It's kind of the entire point. Anyway, but Metharax, which is going to be the person that the Shekarak or whatever, they hate these names, are summoning, is going to actually be a boss in Uldir, which I like. I always like it when the bosses that we fight in raids are people we've met during questing.
Yeah.
So we failed to stop the summoning.
Yeah, now we have to go clean up our mess.
Sure. But I'm very happy about this zone. It looks like a ton of fun. You get the stuff above the sand, but a lot of it's going to be done under the sand in like these temples.
Yeah,
the temple of
that's pretty
Akunda.
cool. So is this the guy right here? Oh yeah, it is. He looks pretty cool.
So I Voldun is something that was probably one of the zones I'm looking forward to playing the most.
Really?
Yeah, I love the whole deserty thing.
I don't know. I kind of looking forward to playing what's that Kul Tirian area called again? Yeah, with the witches and stuff.
That part would be. What does this guy's face scream to you?
What do you mean?
Old god.
Yeah, I mean
Look at
that's
it,
obvious.
Like squiddy.
That looks like that one dude in Uldir.
Yeah.
What was his name? General Vazex or some shit like that.
Something like that. Honestly, these guys freak me. This guy freaks me out a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, he looks like he's gonna be a huge boss too.
Oh, I'm expecting it. Because obviously he's gonna be a raid boss.
Yeah.
But we still don't know a ton about dungeons that are gonna be here. But my guess for dungeons here, I think we're gonna have one where we're raiding an old tomb or whatever. And I think we're gonna have a dungeon where we try to stop the summoning of this character or whatever. We have to fight through a bunch of the Shekaraks. That's my guess.
Yeah. Do you still think there's gonna be a Harrison Jones kind of thing in this zone, or?
Yeah, I'm feeling it. It would be weird of Blizzard not to put that in.
Trying to uncover some sort of old god artifact or Titan artifact or something like that.
Yeah. Now, this place is Vulperian, and as we know, Vulperian, allied race, 100% sure. No way it's not going to happen. But something we know a little bit about an allied race is actually confirmed. We have what we assume to be their heritage armor. Now, this is almost basically confirmed because it was on the Blizzard page for allied races on their site. We've seen the in-game a lot of Kul Tirian. If you want to open that up, I think it looks really cool. It's some of the best armor in the game.
Yeah, I don't know. I think you're gonna have to come and roll Horde or Alliance again. I mean, look at this. This is
Kul Tirian Druid. Like, come on, man.
This is pirate all day. So I know you need a really good Mog to go with your pirate hat.
I really do. I spent too much on it.
Yeah.
We have a few different color schemes again. Something I'm wondering about this is, what's the helm item gonna be?
I mean, will there be a helm?
Yeah, I don't think we have it in this document here. We got the Dark Iron Dwarfs, their official allied race armor, and they have a helm, but it looks stupid.
Do you have a link for it?
I can get it 1 second. But I don't know. Do you like it?
The Kul Tirian?
Yeah. Oh
yeah.
The allied race armor particularly.
Like, what do you mean? Like the idea of heritage armor?
No, but their armor. Do you like their armor? I mean.
Oh yeah. I like the Kul Tirian armor. I think it looks pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. It almost looks leathery.
Yeah. One thing is the cloak or the jacket they're wearing, is that like their cloak kind of deal?
No, I figured the jacket would be their chest piece.
I don't know. Maybe. But
Why? Do you not think so?
I don't know. I kind of like the idea of maybe getting a cloak that's like actually like a cloak, like a jacket thing.
That would be interesting. I don't think that's what's happening though.
I don't know. Maybe not. Who knows? Like the Void Elf chest piece has the the wings.
Oh
So
no, maybe you're right actually. Yeah, I don't know. I sent you, by the way, the Dark Iron Dwarf thing, but their helm looks dumb.
all right, let me open it here.
Yeah.
Oh
like,
my god, is that the official helmet?
Yep, that's the official helmet. That's that's
Okay, I mean, I definitely will not be using that on my paladin.
Yeah, but like
100%
so,
confirmed.
I think it's the type of thing where like the helmet looks dumb, but who's gonna wear it? Wait, do Void Elves have a helmet?
They do, and it looks really stupid.
Yeah, I think that's just gonna be the Allied thing. Like you notice in all the promotional art, they don't use the helmets on any of the Allied races.
Yeah, I mean, I think the rest of the armor for Dark Iron Dwarves looks great.
Oh, it looks badass. I think.
But the helmet is like
equip the helm.
What?
You know,
the fuck? Oh god, that's hilarious. But
yeah, that's
whatever.
Blizzard for you. Like for some reason they just can't do helmets. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
It could just be the angle. I don't know. I want to believe
yeah,
that it's
the
okay.
angle, all the angles of a character.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely be looking for a different helmet to use for Transmog.
Yeah, that scares me a little bit, but do you know what really scares me?
What's that?
Old gods.
Old God Disco?
Oh, yeah, old god disco. We've learned a little more about it. In Stormsong, we talked about how there was going to be that there's the graveyard or whatever that has old god whispers, but we have more. It seems as though the entire Stormsong campaign is going to be infected by the old gods a little bit. It's like there's also going to be some Zandalar in the old god campaign. There's this wizard who's clearly getting some corruption from the old gods. There's just a lot of unrest.
Yeah.
And if you scroll down a little bit, you'll see a character called a long name that no one can read with Thule at the end, which never is good. The Drowned. And tell me what you think that looks like. Just scroll down a little bit more.
Oh,
there you go.
This guy here?
Yeah. Looks like a world boss. But
yeah.
If I've ever seen an old god world boss,
it's definitely him.
Yeah, there are these creatures that definitely look old god inspired. There's also below there's this Pride of Azara. And if you don't know, Queen Azara was corrupted by the old god Nathos, so this is probably going to be another Nathos sort of corruption. I can see this being probably a boss in a dungeon who's getting introduced in the quest line, right?
Yeah.
Could even be a raid boss if we see a raid in here, which we could, because we don't have a dungeon confirmed for this place yet.
Yeah, this guy looks really badass though. I like this thing in
I'm
the middle
hoping,
of his
honestly,
chest. Like, what is
I'm
that?
hoping it's a raid boss.
Is that somebody that's been influenced
Queen
by the
Azara.
old gods?
No, that's Queen Azara.
Is it?
It's not her herself, but I think that's Queen Azara, like as a like ghost or whatever, like her spirit. Here's what I think. I think this is gonna be something that's gonna be teased now, maybe teased in a dungeon. We're gonna see as a boss in the confirmed Queen Azara raid that we're gonna get, right? Like when we go to this guy's turf and fight him.
Yeah, I don't think we'll be fighting him right here out in the open.
Yeah, or even during a dungeon. I would hate for them to throw him away. Like what boss I feel like they kind of threw away? The boss at the end of Eye of Azara, the god. I feel like they threw away that encounter because that deserved to be in a raid, but it was just in a dungeon, and he's at low health.
Yeah. They're like powering him up or something like that.
I'm hoping we might see him again during the Queen Azara raid. I could see it happening.
Yeah, bosses like that always kind of resurface too.
Like Ragnaros or Cthulhu or
Yogg.
Yeah. I doubt that we've seen the last of those guys.
Yeah, but I really like the overall design of this dude. I really like that thing in the middle of his chest. Maybe it would be like you have to damage something on him, and then his chest opens up. and you kill that
Oh
or
yeah,
something like
almost like the Desolate Host. Or the Desolate Host didn't do that. What's the one? Black. Isn't there a boss in Black Temple like that, where like it pops out eyepieces or whatever?
that. Yeah, I forget the name of it though.
Doesn't matter. Anyway, a topic that we had teased at the beginning of the show. We're going to be talking about whether or not we think Azerite power, or as I've called it, as power, will be a flopper hit. What flopper hit? Just quickly.
I think it might be a flop.
And what makes you say that?
It just doesn't look like there's a ton to do with it.
Yeah, I'd have to agree with you. I'm really, in my eyes, the Azerite system is going to be the worst part of the next expansion because they're trying to make another artifact weapon, but they're not going about it right.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's the thing that made the artifact weapon so good was it was compelling rewards and changes. And sure, you got to get all of them, but like they were compelling and interesting. I mean, the only thing that could save the system, I guess, would be like really good traits. And I just don't think Blizzard's going to do it or going to be able to do it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they should have kept the artifact weapons, but make them more of like a talent choice kind of deal, you know? Instead of right now, you unlock everything. Maybe you have to take a certain path or something like that.
One of the biggest failures, I think, that for the system is that you're only going to be able to pick, like, the item you have is going to have whatever set talent it has for all specs, right? That's going to be the biggest failing in my eyes. That, like, it doesn't change based on the spec. Like,
Is
that's
that...
something that's true. That's what they have so far. Now that might change, but if it doesn't, that can really mark the end of this system.
Yeah, I mean I don't know, the artifact system was so unique. Like
Let's say in the magical world this system works, and they have really good traits or whatever, and people start liking it. Then you're just going to see people farming like for mythic pluses or whatever, like really high keys, just because they want some specific thing from a mythic plus, like a specific item. It's just going to make more of those items that are absurdly valuable for no good reason.
Yeah, well, what do you mean? Like people... Are you
Like,
saying people are going to get sick of the grind? Trying to get one item or something like that?
I'm saying one of the reasons why they got rid of tier was to make it so that you don't feel like you have to equip a very specific item in every slot. But this is just going to make it so that you feel like your Azerite slots are going to be locked down. Like I'll use, for example, Rogue. They have to use, or they don't have to use, but they often use Eye of Command, even if it's a significant item level decrease. Like a Rogue in my guild, good friend of the show, Crimson, he uses Eye of Command, and he'll use that even if he were to get Almond Tools or whatever, because it's so good. I think we're going to see that with normal items. Like there'll be a helm piece where it just has the right stats or the right abilities. So you're using that helm piece even if you get a 20 item level upgrade. And I'm afraid that like you'll see like that be a dungeon drop or something.
Well, aren't they making it to where like Mythic Plus are gonna drop? They're gonna drop helmets and shit, but they're gonna have the same traits, right?
No. You're gonna drop helmets with different traits. No, they're all gonna be different. Every single boss is gonna drop a different one.
Yeah. Okay. Well, fuck. That sucks.
Right?
I thought like Mythic Plus, we're gonna drop
the
same ones.
No, it's gonna be every single piece is gonna be different. It's like for every different boss. So I guess I'm gonna pull chat here a little bit. Specifically, this question from Crimson: are you afraid that you're gonna see like Azerite pieces that you need to equip, even if their item level decrease? Like, do you think that's something that's gonna happen given the way that Blizzard deals with things in general? I guess that question also goes to you, Ro. What do you think Blizzard's gonna miss that jump over the hurdle? Or do you think they're gonna totally fail and have that happen?
Well, the thing is they're making the helmets and shoulders and stuff like that, not Titan Forge or Proc Higher, right?
Yeah, that's true. So you won't have to worry about Titan Forges, but for Mythic Pluses, that doesn't matter because you'll just have to do a plus 23 or whatever.
Well, I mean, you're gonna cap out, assuming. So I'm gonna use a Mythic plus 15. You're gonna get the highest available helmet or shoulder or whatever, right?
Yeah, but still, then it just means people are gonna farm it. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, there's going to be farming, but farming's always been part of the game.
Yeah.
So,
Some in chat, Crimson, again, friend of the show, brought up a really good point. People are gonna have different sets, like for each individual bosses, which I assume means people bags are gonna be fuller than ever, because you're gonna
Yeah.
have your AOE set or whatever. Because unlike a talent change where you can quickly swap it out, you're gonna have different sets. And they did say you're gonna be able to reset your Azerite traits, but I'm assuming it's gonna come at some sort of considerable cost. You know, for
Yeah.
example, the resetting your AP traits right now, artifact power, it costs you 1 rank, which now is a very considerable amount. Not that you change it now, but you know what I'm saying.
so what do you mean it costs you 1 rank?
If you were to reset your artifact power, it would cost you 1 level.
Oh.
So if you're 76, you become 75. I don't know if that's what they're going to do next expansion, but I'd figure it'd be something like that.
Well, I've never reset my artifact power, so I have no idea.
I did it once. It was not a good choice because I did during leveling because I thought, oh, I went down the wrong path. Then I realized it didn't matter, just wasted time.
Yeah. I don't know. I still not even sure about, like, I think it's just gonna go by really quickly. You're gonna cap out what you need. So it's like, yeah, I don't know about this whole system in general. I would have rather have like another artifact weapon, but done
Or something,
differently.
not even a weapon. I don't know. Even if they didn't make it a weapon, even if it was an artifact necklace, I just wish that it was like the artifact weapon. Because they made such a good system. Why don't they just keep that UI or that sort of design element? I mean, there was definitely fringe members of the community who thought the artifact weapon was a flop, but I don't think it was, and I can't think of a good reason for it. You know?
Yeah, I think they should have kept it. It was really unique, and it's like they're just throwing it away. Like, what the fuck?
I'm not happy. But to switch to a lighter topic, we got the Mythic Dungeon Invitational, which honestly, I love the MDI. I don't watch it a ton, but I think it's great that PvE is getting incentivized in some way. And of course, next expansion confirmed. When we can make our own keys, you can expect the Raid Radio Mythic Dungeon Invitational. So to make sure to get your teams ready for that. Ro, you want to give us the lowdown on the Mythic Dungeon Invitational? I know you've been watching.
Yeah, I've been watching a few. They're broadcasting late at night because it's China right now. But I mean, these guys are just insane. Even the quote unquote shittier teams, they still do really well. But it seems like in this China group, anything that has the name Sky in it, they're doing really well. I don't know what the deal is with that.
It must be like a conglomerate or whatever.
Yeah, well, here we got.
So you'll see like the north.
Yeah, Skyline D. They they whooped that ass. Skyline Top, they whooped that ass. And then Sun Sky, they whooped that ass too. So I don't know. What's going on with the Sky thing? They must be like a group together or something like that.
Soon in the semifinals, we're going to see 2 Skies meet. It's looking like it.
Yeah, 2 Skies are going to probably meet.
That's going to be the game to watch. I'm not even joking.
Yeah, and when I was watching it, I was like, I mean, they're doing Mythic 22 and Mythic 23, and these guys, you know, they're all, of course, they're running blood decays for tanks, but they're pulling like,
huge pulls.
Yeah, they did Maw Souls, and I watched them. They pulled that entire thing plus the boss, and they still did it.
Really?
Yeah, and I can't remember the half X's, but it doesn't matter. It's a 22. It's like, come on, dude, that's crazy. But their Demon Hunter and their Rogue were pulling around like 40 million DPS. I was like, what the hell?
No, I love any display of sort of WoW skill, but I think the Mythic Dungeon Invitational is awesome because usually the PvE competitive scene is only for like 2-3 weeks after a raid is released. But it's awesome to see even now, 20 weeks after Antorus was dropped, we're seeing such intense interest in Mythic or just in PvE in general.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think it's awesome that we're going to be seeing. I think we're going to be seeing way more of these next expansion because we'll be able to make our own keys. So you won't have to be affiliated with Blizzard to make a dungeon race. I think you'll probably be seeing a lot of a lot of WoW YouTubers making them. You'll probably see a WoW head one. I think that's cool.
Yeah, that's Raid Radio having our own Raid Radio MDI.
Confirmed. There will be a Raid Radio Invitational as soon as we get the ability to do that.
Yeah. Oh, we got down here. So they already ran. So WoW has on the Twitch channel. They have the China. There was one on Friday and Saturday, and then I think next week it's gonna be the Asia Pacific stage. So that's gonna be at 8 p.m. on the weekends.
Yeah.
So that's a little late as well.
I think Blizzard's doing a great job with all the esports stuff. I mean, I know we're a WoW channel here, but to talk about the Overwatch League for a minute, they have it's like sports. It's crazy how much they support it.
Yeah, Overwatch has a huge following too, so that definitely helps them out.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing about that is like they're actually having like teams like professional team owners coming out to support them. Like you have Robert Kraft, which is the NFL Patriots owner, and he is investing into the Overwatch League. So they're having people like that of that caliber.
It's because they think
coming out
that
and
it's going
doing
to be
that.
the next thing. They think it's going to be the next thing because it might be. Yeah, it might be the next new sport. You know,
So,
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean,
that'd
it
be
pulls in so much
that'd be
online
awesome
viewership.
if we could have like an MDI league. You know, that'd be.
Yeah.
I'd watch it. Watch it.
I think my guess is that I've always thought this. If the Invitational is able to pull enough viewers, we might see something like that. We might see a World of Warcraft league.
Yeah, and then I guess Raid Radio is gonna have to make their own team, huh?
Yeah, that's what.
And we're gonna have to get
if
our
we
own
can get past the
sponsors.
qualifiers. However, we do have a few people who we know who are pretty good.
Well, I mean,
But,
yeah, I got the Death Knight tank covered, so.
Death Knight tanks actually are pretty damn good.
And then I guess you could heal, right?
Yeah. Anyway, it might be kind of hard to find a group now, given the sort of prevalence of what has been quoted as called guild decay during the drought, like the alliteration there. Bro, has your guild seen any of this sort of degradation?
We've had a few, but I don't think it's really hit us real bad. So right now we're going into Mythic, so we still have quite a few progression, and we haven't actually
Do you have
hit a wall.
Do you have
yet.
a hot 20 yet, or are you pugging?
We have around 17 to 18 people that show up.
So you're pugging 3 every night?
Yeah, we're pugging a couple, but at the same time, those guys are sticking around with us, so it's like they're almost in the guild, but they're in a different server kind of thing.
I know what you're saying. I think guild decay is something that you see every expansion. You know, that's impossible to avoid. We've been seeing a little bit of it. We stopped doing Mythic a while ago, but that was for other reasons. I think it was before the big wave of decay. But we're seeing a little bit of guild decay. However, I don't think it's going to be a huge problem. I think we're going to have to wait a couple more weeks. But given that this is going to be the shortest drought in WoW history, as we've reported last week, I don't think we're going to be seeing a ton of guild decay. And of course, if you are interested in joining a guild or starting a guild, the best time to do that is actually it's either now, but if now, because I'd say no. The best thing to do is start it now, but to recruit next expansion, because next expansion, every guild is going to want people. There's going to be so many people in the game.
Yeah, and there's going to be a huge influx. You know,
it's the best time to be trying to start a guild. If that's your prerogative, or even just joining a guild, because so many guilds are going to be looking. So many guilds are going to be starting back up. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think you probably want to join a guild that's already sustained, or because I mean, there's going to be a ton of guilds popping back up, but eventually they're just going to go away, mid expansion probably.
Yeah, that can happen. I'd say now that I think about it, if you're going to want to join a guild, I'd join a guild now. Well, there is this drought, but if you want to start a guild, start it next expansion. That's what I meant to say.
Or probably start it right now, I'd say.
Yeah, just so that you'd be able to be ready for the next expansion. But speaking about, I guess, sort of confusion and riddles and mindworms, the Riddler's mindworm is a year old now. Can you believe it? That doesn't feel like that long.
No, it doesn't, does it?
You had the mindworm, right?
April 11th, 2017, huh? Yeah, I got the Mindworm, of course.
I don't. I also don't have Lucid Nightmare yet.
Oh my god.
But one of my friends who is new to the game already has Lucid Nightmare. Did in like a week. So anyone could do it.
well,
What do you think? What do you think about secrets? I like secrets. I think they're fun. I don't really do them, but
how do you like them and you haven't even done them?
I like to watch the show. I like to watch people, get excited about it, get interested.
Yeah, I like it a lot. The Mindworm, it was, I didn't. That one, It basically all the Mindworm one was like you go pick up clues and you go to the next spot, you pick up a clue, and then you eventually end up finding them out. So
yeah, I think the Lucid Nightmare by far it has more staying power. Because with the Mindworm, it's just following the clues. With the Lucid Nightmare, you actually have to, work for it, right? Because even now, you have to still deal with the whole temple thing and all the games or whatever the Bejeweled or whatever.
Yeah, so I think if I remember right, Lucid Nightmare is you got a couple clues going to different places, and then you ended up in
It's Ulna or Uldir.
Oh yeah, that's right. That was you have to kill XT, and then you set up like a puzzle thing, and then you go to what was that zone? I can't remember the name of the zone.
Not remember off the top of my head, but
Valshrar
anyway,
is where you go to.
Yeah,
in a cabin, and then you do the Bejeweled deal, and then you end up going to Mist of Pandaria.
And you do the temple.
Yeah, which I really like doing the temple. I mean, they even made an add-on for it because it's just crazy.
Honestly, if they're gonna do more secrets next expansion, which they're going to, I hope that they're more like the Lucid Nightmare, where they're still difficult, now, I guess, or harder at least.
Yeah, I mean, I know people that did the Lucid Nightmare for like 4, 5, 6 hours, but I was able to do it within 2. I mean, just the temple part. So
honestly, I should just do it. I know it's not that hard.
yeah, I thought it was pretty fun. It's just you gotta the thing to keep in mind for the Lucid Nightmare when you're doing the temple is you have to make like a note for where the colors are and stuff. If you get the add-on, it makes it a lot easier too.
Yeah, I don't know. I think secrets overall are really good. Now we're about to do a new segment we haven't done yet. It's going to be a segment we're going to do every few weeks, not all the time. We're calling it Legion Retrospective. Now we've always sort of called the part where we talk about current game Legion Retrospective, but this is a true Legion Retrospective. We're going to talk about now at least everything from the pre-patch to TOV and kind of give our thoughts on it a little bit. So I guess let's hit it up with the pre-patch here. Did you do the pre-patch content, or were you not playing at that point?
Pre-patch from I think I did. I can't really remember.
Yeah. For the pre-patch, I'm pretty sure you were able to do the scenario, the Broken Shore scenario before we actually started the game. That was fun. It wasn't actually. I'd say it was a pretty like low-key pre-patch. You also had the Legion invasions, which we'd see come up as a
yep. I remember doing that.
Invasions in like Westfall, and I remember that actually it was a really good way to level, and that was kind of something an undetected consequence.
It was really insane to level because you can just take. I mean, you can take a level or whatever and just like AFK, and then you get a couple levels.
Honestly, I think the pre-patch it wasn't a ton, but it was good. There wasn't. I don't remember there being an excessive quest line or anything, but it was fun. It was a good pre-patch, I'd say.
Yeah, and of course, being the upstanding WoW citizen I never AFK while I was leveling. I always was fighting monsters.
I'm sure.
I was pulling my weight. Is what I'm saying.
Okay. I'm sure that really affected the level of hunters who were doing all the work.
Yeah, man. I was a good WoW citizen. I'm just saying.
Anyway, we also I guess something that was really good about Legion is this happens actually most expansions, but didn't really seem to happen in Legion. We didn't have any serious server slow ups. Not that I remember. Like I remember for WoD there were zones that would just crash you, but for Legion none of that really. I think part of that was that I don't know if you remember, but Legion released really late at night.
Did it?
Like I know that's weird, but I logged on at like I don't know why I was logging on at 3 a.m. Don't ask, but I logged on at 3 a.m. and it was out, and it was just like what? It wasn't supposed to release till I guess till that day, but it released at like 1 a.m. or something, something wicked early. And I mean, the only thing that I guess might have been a little bit of a sticking point was the broken shore, right? That was a little bit that caused a little bit of slowdowns. I think some people had some connectivity issues with the broken shore, but that was it. The rest of it was a very smooth opener to Legion, I think. How did you enjoy leveling at Star Legion?
I liked it a lot, mainly because like you were saying, you could.
No
I mean,
problems.
you can choose where you wanted to start. So
Yeah.
I didn't make it to where people were just hammering the hell out of a server.
Now I think about it, that's probably why it was so smooth.
Yeah.
Where did you pick to start?
I think I started with. Hold on, let me look here.
I
think I started with Azuna.
Zuna? I did High Mountain first. And that was not the best choice, if I'm being honest. High Mountain, at least that, especially at the start when I didn't really know where I was going, was a bitch to navigate. And it still kind of is to this day, although with flying, that doesn't matter. But High Mountain, that's the first one I did. And that produced some problems.
Yeah. I think I did Azuna, Valsharar, Stormheim, and then I think I saved High Mountain for last. So I'm pretty sure I leveled, and I think I do similar.
Yeah.
I
actually
do similar for that.
leveling. I leveled as a Brewmaster tank. That was the first character I leveled, so it was actually pretty quick, and I was able to pull big packs. And I think leveling as a tank always helps in that way. It's a trade-off, of course.
Yeah, I think I was leveling as a Blood Decay for a little bit too.
I guess we can't mention leveling without our first experiences with getting the artifact weapons. The first weapon I got was, well, it must have been the tank weapon. Now that I think about it, I don't remember. I remember it being a little bit weird, like the whole getting your class all and getting the weapon. It was fine, but I remember having some trouble with it. What about you?
I think what was I doing? Actually, I think I rolled Frost first, and then I went and got my tank weapon. But I thought it was really cool. Like, I mean, I just fell in love with my artifact weapon at the very beginning.
Yeah, no, they really did a great job. Like, I whatever trouble I had with it, they did a great job making you really feel like your weapon was important. And I thought it was a little bit cheesy when the class hall part, because I knew when I started the class hall that they were going to make me the god of the class hall or whatever, but I still felt like it was fine.
Yeah, I like my class hall when I like zone in. It's like, oh, Commander's here. I'm like, goddamn right he is.
Yeah.
Better pay attention.
Okay, so what was your, I guess, what were your first impressions of Mythic Plus right when you started? Did you do a lot of it?
Yeah, I think, well, once I hit 110, I was starting to do, like, heroics and regular mythics. And then, of course, we started doing the Mythic plus, like, level 2. And, I liked them.
Mythic Plus scared me at the start a little bit.
Yeah, I was kind of intimidated by it, because I didn't... So I came from, last time I played seriously was Wrath. And then I played some in Mist, but all I did was PvP. And then I leveled in WoD to level 100, stopped playing. And then... So that's when they introduced Mythic, right? Was in WoD?
Yeah, but it was just one Mythic. It wasn't a Mythic Plus system. So it was just Mythic dungeons. And at first they were hard, but then we outgeared them quickly.
Yeah, so I was kind of intimidated, even just from like the regular Mythic, because I had never ever done it before. But I was like, screw it, I'm gonna do this shit. But yeah, I think I was a little intimidated by Mythic Plus, and I was also on a new server in a new guild doing these Mythic Pluses with them, so I was like trying to impress them and stuff,
Yeah, no, my first experiences of Mythic Plus was not doing them, actually. I was in a guild, the guild doesn't even exist anymore, so I guess I can say the name. It was called Easy, No, it wasn't an easy. It was called No Big Deal. That was it. I was on Airy Peak. The reason I thought it easy was because Easy was another guild on Airy Peak who actually ended up becoming big. But anyway, I was in No Big Deal, and they're a mythic, high level mythic guild, and I didn't really feel like I was in the right place, so to speak. But during the first, like, everyone was max level within 2 days of the expansion, which I was pretty close to that. I leveled quickly, but then everyone was farming Mythic Plus, like high keys, because they wanted to get geared for the next raid, and I just wasn't feeling it. I kind of stayed away from them for a very long time, and I ended up actually leaving that server that I was on and leaving Airy Peak and coming to Proudmoore basically on a whim, because some people who I had recruited for another guild and I had kept on B tags ended up, sending me a message or whatever and told me they were starting a guild. So I joined them. But I stayed away from Mythic Plus, I'd say, until TOV, honestly, around that time. That was when I actually started really doing Mythic Plus.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a long ass time, man. Holy shit. So, when I met you in the guild we were in before, then you were relatively new to Mythic Pluses then, right?
Something like that, really. I didn't, because I don't know, I was just stayed away from them.
And I think that's
so I
when we
next-
started making you making you heal
into it a
Mythic
little bit.
Pluses.
Honestly, yeah, no. The thing that got me into Mythic Pluses was healing. That was wild. That was later into the expansion. Let's keep it chronological here. Wait, how did you gear for? Did you do Emerald Nightmare? Did you raid it?
Yeah, I did Emerald
How did
Nightmare.
you gear for it? Mythic Plus.
Yeah, it was a combination of doing regular Mythic. I mean, I pretty much did every single Mythic every week. Like Black Ricola, blah blah blah. I did all those on Mythic every week, and I also did World Quests. Helped out a lot too because they were scaling with your eye level. So you're getting like, I can't remember what was the max, like 850
Yeah,
or something like that.
I was doing a ton of world quests. I was also doing 850. I think that was lower than that. I think it was like 845. Anyway, I was doing world quests. I was doing a ton of heroic dungeons, actually, and that's really about it. I did actually raid the first week of Emerald Nightmare. The guild I was in was a guild you actually joined, Ro. They had an eye level requirement that I just met. I was DPSing at that point, and I was playing Windwalker, which is what I played for a while. But I hadn't played Windwalker until then, basically, because as I said, I leveled as tank. I played Brewmaster tank before that, for a while, and Brewmaster was what I was comfortable with. But they didn't need a Brewmaster; they didn't need a tank. So I learned Windwalker for that, and that was a little bit freaky, but what were your thoughts on Emerald Nightmare? How far did you kind of get? Did you get like AOTC? Were you doing Mythic?
We never did Mythic, but I did do AOTC. I was in a guild called the Crimson Eclipse back then. When I first started doing Emerald Nightmare, it was... Well, actually, I joined a different guild, and I think they did a little bit of normal, and they jumped right into heroic, and I don't know, I didn't feel good there, or I kind of felt out of place with the personality, so I decided to leave them. And I think they started doing Mythic, and I was just like, eh. So I left, and I joined a different guild called Crimson Eclipse, and we were doing pretty much normal and then heroic, and we got AOTC that way. Doing that.
Yeah, I was in an AOTC guild basically, so we did get AOTC after a bit of working. I was doing that time. I was only DPSing. I had a ton of fun though in Emerald Nightmare. I think aesthetically it sort of fell flat in places because it was very much monochromatic. It was one color, but I think it was a fun raid.
I mean, obviously it's a beginning. Bosses. It's a starting raid, so it's not going to be super fucking hard. And
yeah,
the only boss I think was a real challenge was what's his name, the eye dude, Eglanoth or some shit like that.
Il'gynoth. Il'gynoth was a bitch.
Yeah, I think that was the hardest mechanical boss.
It was honestly harder than Xavius.
Yeah, Xavius wasn't that hard. You had to soak some shit, kill some ads, and that was about it.
Yeah, honestly, I think Emerald Nightmare was a really great first raid.
I mean, I definitely like the way it looked and stuff, but I don't. Oh, you know what was another one for my guild was that chick that turns into the spider and the bird.
Yeah, with the arachnid girl. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that chick and Elganoth were kind of like, yeah,
Yeah,
little
it
rough
had
for
a few
us.
difficult bosses, but it was a breezy entrance to the experience, and I think it set us up for the type of expansion we were looking at. I think. And during this time, there was the sort of balance. The balance for Power Quest had started by then, right?
Yeah, and
With all the
nobody knew
Suramar
what it
stuff.
was.
Yeah, no one knew what the heck was happening. I didn't actually do that much Suramar stuff. I avoided it. The only reason I only got, I'm trying to think. I think I just totally avoided it. I only did enough so I'd get world quests, right? Like so I'd get world quests across the map. But after that, I stopped doing anything in Suramar, and that would bite me in the butt. But we'll get to that. I guess during the later retrospective where we hit that sort of time period. But were you doing it? Were you doing the Suramar stuff and actually keeping up with the quest line?
Like the balance of power, stuff like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I was. Like,
that's smart.
I would, you know, my priority was gear up, do the raid, do Mythic Plus, and then like if I wasn't doing that, I was doing Surmar shit or
Yeah,
farming artifact power.
that was a smart thing. Farming artifact power is actually a big deal. My guild was never super pushy about it. We did at points we would enforce artifact requirements, like you need to be level whatever 30 or something. It was never cutting edge. So I did all the artifact world quests that were on the map. That was my way of doing it
That's what I
every
did
week.
too. Every day I would do my artifact quests. I log on and do the world quests, and then do
And,
whatever else
a
after.
lot of people said that they got burned out of world quests during the start of the expansion. I didn't feel that though. I never got burned out from doing artifact quests.
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't target world quests to give me artifact power anymore because you don't need it. But
Yeah, me too.
like, I don't know, I never got burned out from the world quests. I still do them. I still do. Well, I've been doing it
Yeah.
on my DK recently because I've been running out of order all resources. So yeah, that's
Yeah,
what I've
I
been
don't know.
doing on my DK. But like, I do it on my
They never burn.
paladin still just for the legendary stuff.
Yeah, and maybe that just comes to the type of person that I guess that we are. But I never burned me out. This is when people started getting legendaries, and I remember when when the first person in our guild got a legendary, it was a demon hunter, and they got the belt. I don't remember if it was that good, but to us it was awesome. They got a legendary item, right? What was the
Yeah,
first legendary you got?
first legendary guy I think was the AMS shield for a Death Knight.
Is
And
it good?
I mean, it's decent.
Yeah.
It made me survive in raids a lot longer too.
I got one that was decidedly not that decent, if I'm being honest. I got the monk ring, not the class ring because that wasn't out yet, but it was the March of the Legion. It was the first one I got. When I got it, I literally got it from my chair. You've probably done this before if you played a while. I got it from my chair, fucking ran around for like a minute, screaming my head off, excited, because I'm like, I got a fucking legendary. What? Because the last legendary I got before that was the ring, and that was like a conclusion of farming for months. So for me, getting a legendary was badass. And like, I was one of the first maybe 9 or 5 or 6 people in the guild who got one. So I was early enough on the bracket. It's only
Yeah.
later when I realized that I got one of the worst monk legendaries. I mean, it was nice enough. I remember then linking it in raid chat like a couple times and be like, "Ooh, gay, ooh." That was fun though. I mean, I was happy when I got it. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, I was pretty happy when I
But
got my first legendary too. I remember it was like guild news too, because you get the legendary. It's like, oh man, did you hear so and so got a legendary? You're like, what? Son of a
Yeah.
bitch.
Of course, we'd only learn months later that getting legendaries was like something that would just happen and you get angry about. Like that's something that we didn't have at the start, but it's really turned into. I guess probably the problem with the legendary system is that people get legendaries and they get disappointed now.
Yeah, it's like, is it a good one?
Yeah, like that's the question I ask whenever somebody gets legendary. I don't want to be like woo because they might be a shitty one, you know. But at that time, getting a legendary was something crazy, you know.
Yeah, I remember that's what one of my guildmates was talking about that earlier. He was like, it's pretty sad now that you get a legendary. You're like, oh man, this thing's a piece of shit.
Right. I don't know. I'm like at that point in this game, I didn't really think there was going to be a problem with legendary system. I was hopeful. It was
Yeah.
later down the line, and maybe we'll talk about this during another like retrospective segment when we started to see the cracks in the legendary system. But at that time, I didn't see any cracks. I wasn't afraid.
It was just a new shiny piece of gear that's never been in
Right.
game before, and you're like, fuck yeah, I got I got
Yeah,
this
I felt
super
like
shitty legendary that you have no
I,
idea
I
that was
felt
really
like
bad.
I got fucking Thunder Fury or something like that.
Yeah, exactly.
And then, had you started? I guess. Let's go to TV. We started sort of discovering hidden appearances. I think what was the first one to get discovered? Was it Warrior? No, Warrior was one of the last, wasn't it? Trying to remember off the top of my head.
Oh God, I can't. I don't know which one.
I think it might have been Monk.
There was some where you farmed a bunch of demons. I think those were discovered pretty, pretty early.
Oh, you're the Warlock one.
Yeah, Warlock. I think like the Ret Paladin one, something like
Mhm.
that too. Oh, the Ret
Yeah.
Paladin was the
The
fishing.
Red Paladin one took forever. That one was the one that was like took you to Timbuktu and everything for the corrupted Ashbringer.
Yeah.
Like Nat Pagal. I don't know. I mean, the artifact appearances really electrified the community. It was like the secrets that we were talking about earlier with the Mindworm, except times it by 20. Because now
Yeah.
everyone wanted to do it.
Yeah, I think I was playing Unholy then, and I actually got my artifact hidden appearance doing a 2s arena.
Really?
Yeah, so the way the Unholy one was, if you summon Army of the Dead, or I think you could also proc it off your artifact ability, the summoning a bunch of demons, or not demons, but undead people. There would be a unique one that spawns with them, and then he would drop a book. So.
Oh, yeah. I remember people. Yeah. I don't know. I did mine. The first one I got, of course, was Monk, Windwalker, and that was me farming the Withered training for hours, and that was just kind of shitty, honestly.
Oh yeah, I did that on my Paladin for that too. But
Uh,
I remember I was doing 2s, and then I hit my Apocalypse, which is like a little army that pops out of your weapon, basically. And then I saw the dialogue for the hidden appearance, and I was like, hell yeah, I got excited. We ended up losing the match because I wasn't even focusing on the match.
Of course.
So
Yeah, of
that's
course.
what happened there. Which I thought, I don't know, I really didn't like doing the Unholy hidden appearance because it was just super RNG.
Yeah, no, a lot of them were RNG, and that wasn't very good. Also, some of them you just bought, actually. Now I think about it, probably the first one that was discovered was the Hunter one, because you just buy that.
Oh yeah, it was because was the only option was you can use a gun, right? And the hidden one was the bow, so they pretty much just gave it to him.
Mhm.
Like, whatever.
But it feels like that kind of steals the experience away from Hunters a little bit.
Yeah, well, I didn't roll a Hunter, so I don't have to worry about that. And I remember the Frost Decay was off a random world, or off a world boss, and it was, a low drop rate.
Yeah,
And then they eventually made it.
I got the either Elemental or Enhancement Shaman one recently off a world boss without even trying.
Oh yeah. Well, now it's 100% drop rate. So if you do the boss.
Oh, is that why?
Yeah, they switched it to 100%.
Yeah. I guess the next thing we got to talk about is Trial of Valor. Trial of Valor was actually kind of a sticking point in the guild that I was in. I don't know if you had joined by then, Rob, but we didn't get AOT Trial of Valor until like the last minute.
Really?
Yeah. Didn't they extend the window for AOTC Trial of Valor into Nighthold?
I think
I'm actually almost sure of that.
Have done that.
And we put it off basically forever until like almost the end of Nighthold.
Oh wow.
Yeah, Trial of Valor was something where I think it was really smart. It was like a micro raid, so it was meant for guilds that had cleared Emerald Nightmare quickly, but that just wasn't really us, I guess, the guild that I was in. What about you?
Yeah.
When did you do Trial of Valor?
We did Emerald Nightmare. I'm not sure if we got ahead of the curve. I think we got it before Trial of Valor came out. Yeah, because we were on farm for Emerald Nightmare. Like,
well, you could get ahead of the curve for Emerald Nightmare when Trial of Valor came out.
Well, I don't know. I'm pretty sure we had it on farm before Trial of Valor came out, because I remember we were spending full raid nights on Heroic Odin, because he was way overtuned.
Yeah, very much so. I remember Heroic Odin being a bitch.
Yeah, I like Trial of Valor. It was a nice little.
Yeah, it was nice. Helia was overtuned in my opinion, and same with Odin. My guild's actually been running Trial of Valor lately. When we finished our raid nights early for the Cursed Dead appearances.
Oh, the armor sets.
Mhm.
Yeah, I like that how they added that armor set. I still use some of them. I use it on my paladin and my warlock mainly sometimes.
Yeah.
But I like how it looked. Yeah.
Yeah. I think this has been a great Legion retrospective we've had here. Make sure to join us next week or maybe the week after that for another one. We're going to be covering from most likely TOV, the end of TOV, I guess, through Nighthold and maybe even Summit Tomb. But we might leave Tomb for the week after. But we'll definitely be talking about the Broken Shore. Now, without further ado, the segment you've all been waiting for, the segment I've been waiting for this entire show. Like, come on, the Transmog segment, or as I like to call it, the dab winning segment.
I don't know about that, man.
Well, just show them the pictures here. So this week's, if you weren't aware, this week's Transmog theme was faction pride. Now that meant a lot of things to us. Oh, it's the chosen dead. We messed it up. Faction pride. So it could be faction, any faction. So we have a few submissions here. Let's start off with me, Ro. Yeah, let's start with the winner. As you can see, this is a gnome. It's a little bit different from what you're used to.
Yeah.
How you like that? Usually
I don't
a
know.
gnome.
What is this supposed to be here? Is this like a naval alliance kind of deal?
Yeah, I'm like a naval alliance leader.
I mean, it's not bad, but you know,
The word
it's
you're
a
looking for
decent
is
mod.
fantastic. It's a
It's a decent mod.
The shield is awesome. I'm a whole, I'm representing the classic Alliance faction. Changing it up. I also had a Horde one, but Rose said I couldn't show it for some reason. Apparently, some.
Because
Well,
you like to
Ro.
submit to.
Okay, but Ro, the second one's also really good. Show the second one. Show the other one.
Hold on. I don't even have it on OBS.
Well, that seems like a you problem. So as you can see here, I'm wearing the classic Alliance tabard. The hat is from Warlords of Draenor from the shipyard, of all things. I don't know where the shield is from, but I think it's from the Alliance vendor in Stormwind. The sword is some sort of a golden admiral sword. I don't know where that's from. And the rest of it is a mix of jester armor and a few other things.
Alright, so you ready for your other one? Now, you
I'm ready
can
for
only
the
have
winning.
one submission, so this one doesn't count.
Make sure. I'm gonna still keep the gnome submission. I just want to show my other one.
Alright. So, that's what you sent me.
Yeah, I think it looks nice.
I mean, what is this? It looks very, like, druid, I think.
Yeah, it's on shaman, but you see this classic horde colors. It's classic horde. I'm basically the new Karen Butthoof.
Yeah, gonna be the next horde leader, because God knows they're gonna need one after this expansion.
Fantastic. So everyone soak in this. Soak in the winners.
I don't know about this one, Dab. I
Bro,
think
we
the
can show
gnome
yours
one's
now.
better.
Really?
Yeah.
I like this one personally.
Alright, so here's the one I made. It's very gnome
Very classic
faction.
gnome.
I think I almost modeled it off the faction leader of the
Mechantor.
gnomes. Yeah. I like this. I think it's the best one. What do you think?
I'd say you picked a good spot for it. What's that tabard shirt?
That's a Nomarin tabard, man.
Huh. I think it's very interesting. What character are you on there?
I'm on my Death Knight.
I don't know. It's a little bit too busy for my taste.
Busy? What are you talking about?
There's too much
Busy?
going on.
No, there's not. There's only like two colors going on. I got the gold and
Oh,
the purple.
But what about the red then? There's like several shots of red on the glasses.
That doesn't count. Ignore that.
I can
That
ignore it
doesn't.
for the Mog.
You're crazy, man. I only got
Crazy,
like
I'm
two
red.
dominant colors. My purple, my gloves, tabard, and boots.
Okay, fine. Show Quid submission. I think it's okay, bro. I'm gonna say it's okay. Can you take okay?
It's the winner, man. It's the winner. I'm just talking about.
That's false.
So what's Quid? Is he a shaman? What is
No,
this?
I think it's actually he's this character. This character might be a shaman, or it could be a rogue. No, it must be rogue because that's leather. He's a frost wolf leader. That was his. Theme.
Oh, okay. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think it's very frost wolf.
I still think mine's the #1 winner.
Frost. What do people in chat think? Who do people think win? Me, Gnome Alliance, Ro, Gnome loser, or Quid here, frost wolf leader. I'm feeling me. Honestly, I think I really brought my A game this time. You don't think I brought my A game?
I think mine's a lot better. Look at that, dude. It's 100% gnome.
But mine's 100% good.
Good.
No, mine's Shadow saying I win. So
Gnome Alliance.
now that
What the
now
hell?
that we've seen me win and you lose, let's announce the next week's Transmog competition. Next week, we enter the sauce zone. You get to wear your most saucy, sexy mogs. Make sure to submit them over Twitter or email us or send it to me in PM, but be careful about the last one because it's too saucy. And that's about it. Thank you all for watching this week's episode of Raid Radio. We loved having you. If you're on YouTube, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell notification button so you can see every time we upload. You're on Twitch, follow us there. That'd be nice of you. Also, you can follow us on Twitter for regular updates, and we'll make sure to tweet out if they release a Boomkin model for Kul Tirian humans. Anything else I missed there, Ro?
No, I think that's about it. Just make sure to tune in next week for our extra special episode.
Extra special episode, extra sauce. Make sure to bring your A1 sauce. It should be delicious.
All right, everybody have a good one, and we'll see you next week.
Mm-hmm.